fundamentals of R programming. Before we continue, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. I do videos on R programming, data science, bioinformatics, especially the fundamental aspect of all that I've mentioned. So do me a favor, subscribe to the channel to support it so that it may grow. I did a video on fundamentals of R, but I noticed that the video is no more available. So I'm doing it once again for those who want to start R programming or who want to learn R from scratch. And so I'm going to be dealing with the very, very basics of R programming. All right. So I'm already sharing my screen. So this is R Studio. Um, and of course, if you want to know how to install R, I have a video on how to install R and then R Studio. There are two things you have to. But when you are on R like this, I just created a new script. The first thing is to have a script like on title. There are two ways of creating a script. The whole of what you are seeing on top here, that is a new script. So if you go to File, I think because of my image, you may not see it. But if you go to File, and then you come to like New File, then you can see what the R script. Then you can simply just click on that. The other way of doing that is to just say Control Shift and N. Then it will also create a new script for you. Now, when you have the script, whatever that you have here, you can actually click on Save, and then it will allow you to give it a title. You see, so you can give it a title. Let's say we can call this fundamentals. And then once you click Save, then you can see fundamental.r there. So the whole of the script is called fundamentals.r. So that's one of the things you need to pay attention to. Now, the next thing is maybe all these things you are seeing on top there, the file, the edit, the code, they all have instances where we use them. If you want to know how to use them, is with time you will get to know them. But let me quickly run you through tools. If you come to tools, it actually allows you to set your background, the appearance, and whatsoever. You go to global settings, or you can come to appearance. Maybe you don't want small font size, you can change it here. You don't want the font style, you can change it here and choose the font style you want. Then maybe you want maybe a modern studio, you can come here and change. You want sky, you can change any of them and you're good to go. Font size, we are at 12 now. If you want, you can change it to whatever that you want. Now, when you come to layout, it allows you to reshuffle the panels. We have 4 panels already. Then you can decide to, it's not compulsory that the script panel should be the first one. You can actually reshuffle them. Then if you go to packages, allows you to be able to check whether the packages are up to date. This for R Markdown. If you want to run a Python script and all that, then Copilot and all of them, they're all here. I think I will have to do another video as to how to use any of these fundamentals just correctly. But today, I want us to just focus on how to be able to all these vectors, list, data frame, matrix, and whatsoever. Where do they come from? And how do they play out? So I just want us to play around. I mean, those ones as a way of getting the fundamental that you need in R programming. So here, when you have this, what pop up like this, I'm just going to come here and cancel it. And so we are good to go. Now, you can brush any of these things out. When you see where my cursor is pointing, you can actually brush it, everything will go off. You can also brush, everything will go off here. Brush, everything will go. Now, where the cursor is pointing and you see 1, it means that's where you are going to be writing all your codes and you'll be running all your codes from that place. Now, this place is called the console. The console is when you write anything and you run it, then you will see the results being displayed inside the console here. And then if it is properly run, the color here, the code will still be there and the results will be under the code here. For instance, if I put there 4 plus, let's say if I have 4 plus 3, and then if I run it, so you will see the 4 plus 3 in blue, telling you that it was properly run, and the results will be there. And then when you see this square bracket with 1, it means that we are saying it is a vector. So that is what we have seen around here. In the console too, the console is actually the R base. You can actually run any code at all that you run inside the script panel. You can also run it inside the console. And that's basically what I'm talking about. Here on the top right is the environment. So that is why everything that you have done, you have imported data, you have created a variable, everything is you can have the history of all of them around here. So you have the environment and then the history, the connection, and then tutorials that you can basically use. One thing you should pay attention is there's a very important function of this environment, the environment panel. It allows you to import data into R, for instance. So you can import, you can see from text base, which means you are importing a CSV file. Then here it means you are importing a text file, that's a reader. You are importing an Excel file, you are importing SPSS file, then SAS file, and then from Stata. Then that's the various ways through which you can import what your file from, or if you have your data stated, depending on the kind of the file extension or the data format, then you have it over there. Now, in R, sometimes you have to view your your plots. You want to have your plot that you can view. You want to load in packages. So this particular panel, the right bottom panel, is where you actually have all your plots. You can view the plots. If I plot anything here, you can see it around here. You will see it inside here. Now, if I install a package, or it also allows me to install packages. When you click on packages, you can see package installation, which is here. I have a whole video on packages, then you can check that out. Then presentation, files, and whatsoever. Like the script that I have just created, that particular script will be found here. So at any point at all you want it, you can always come here and you have all your script, which is there. You can see all that we are talking about. They will all be here. And so that's what I'm talking about. Apart from that, if you have a package and you want to read more about the package, then the information is displayed on this particular panel, and you are able to read it. I'll be taking time to explain how all those things come about. And so that's basically what it does. It displays, it allows you to visualize your tables, your charts, and then whatsoever. And then it also allows you to install, it provides provision for you to install packages and load the packages. So for instance, all this, what you are seeing here are packages. And then if I click here, it means I've loaded the package. So at the moment, the packages are not loaded. Any package that is loaded, you will see that it will be ticked, and you know that that particular package has been loaded. It means you are going to use that package around that particular time. So something like a ggplot2, you see that it's not loaded. If I click here, you will simply see that the package has been loaded. So that's what it allows us to be able to do. You have the help, instance, where it allows you to be able to read more about, let's say, what is a package. Let's say this is GT summary, it's a package. So that we also use in presentation, and then you can read more about that package around here. So you can have viewer, you can have presentation, and then all sort of things that you have there. So basically, this is how we go around the the R Studio, and then of course, if there's nothing, in it, so you are actually likely to see, but it's not when you open R Studio for the first time, you are not likely to see anything. All of them are going to be blank. You see, except some writings inside the console, and then you'll be fine. Now let's come and then start properly. So here, let me brush all this, and then say you can actually. These are sliding windows, so you can actually drag and then shift them up and down as and when you want to have them bigger or smaller. You can also shift this front and back, and then in that order. You can also come here, then immediately you bring your cursor and it changes to double arrow. Then you press your your mouse button down and then drag it up and down, you are able to shift it the way you want. There are instances you want to plot or you generate a plot which is bigger and it cannot fit here. It will tell you that the margins are too small. So that's where you need to widen it up, maybe widen it up over here so that you'll be able to have the plot fit inside. And that's basically what I'm trying to put across. So apart maybe so that's basically the first part of the fundamentals you need to know. The second thing is that R works on basically on its own, but it works in connection with your computer hard drive. So when you write something like this, like I just say, let me come down like this. Like I say 4 plus, if I say 4 plus 4, at this point, it's just a text. For R to be able to know what you have written here, you have to commit it into R memory, and R will know that it is a code. Then it will convert it and then give you the results. So to be able to let R know that this is a code and you want the results, you have to do what we call run. So that's why we have the run here, and then the results will be there. Now, apart from that, we also have something here called rerun. So you have run it, you want to rerun it again. So when you click on that, it will rerun the code that you have run just before you click the rerun. So that's what happens. So if you come here, these are source. The sources are simply all the scripts that I have created on top here. So if you come here, you will see a whole lot of scripts. If you come here, the whole lot, and then you come to where we are now. There are other ones that we have done, quite a number of them. And then that is basically how the fundamentals are. Now, let's look at the fundamentals much more in details. In R, we deal with different types of data. And I'm also forgetting, R works with lines. So this is line 1, line 2, line 3, I don't know, up to infinity. I don't know the last what the last line, but you can never exhaust the number of lines which are there. Which means that if I type anything on any of the lines, anywhere at all the cursor is on that particular line, I can actually run it. If I click on the run, it will give me the results. So we should be mindful of that. But there are instances the code will be too long that you can actually turn it. So if I say, let's say 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6, something like this. Maybe at a point around here, if I click enter and I put, let's say 8 again, it is the same line. Pay attention. You see that when you do enter, because you have operational sign at the end of it, when you do enter, the 8 will not come and align with here. So which means this is still continuation of line 2, not line 3. And then we only do that when you put enter. And the enter must be after an mathematical operation or after comma or what is it? So any of the two. If you put comma and then you put enter, I will know that you have not finished with whatever you were typing. And then it will continue from there. And that's what I am talking about. So let me come here. You see that when I remove the plus and I do enter, it comes just up to the new line. R knows that you have completed the first one and you are starting a new one. But if I come here and I put plus or comma and I do enter, so if I put comma there, or let me say plus, and I do enter, then it will come and hang around here. R is telling me that the code is incomplete. And then that's what I want us to pay attention to. All right, so now let's begin. So how does R works in general? It works in such a way that it works with numbers, but you can also add characters to it. So let's start with the first part, the basic operations that we do in R, all the mathematical operations we can do. For instance, if I have, like, let's say 34 plus 7, I can simply click run and then, or control and enter. But before you tap on control and enter, they make sure the cursor is on that particular line. So if I do control enter, then it will give me my results, which is 41. The other mathematical operator, I could have also said 34 minus. The ordinary minus on your keyboard is what you use. And then if I do this and I do this, it will give me my minus 22. If I do this times 5, I could actually, it will give me the results. If I have, let's say, 67, and I have, then you use forward slash, it's the same thing as divide. That's what forward slash is, divide in R. Then if I do that by, and then I put 3, I'm saying 67 divided by 3, it will give me my results. Now, we also have another, in R, we have 5 mathematical operations. We have one we call modulus. In fact, more than that, we also have exponential. So if I have, let's say, 45, and then I do percentage, 5. Let's see what will happen. It will give me 0. You know, we are saying that 45 base 5. So here is the percentage means base. And the base we are dealing with is like the number base we used to have. We are dealing with remainders, whatever that remain. So when you divide a number, whatever remains is what we mean by modulus. So for instance, if I have, let's say 9, and it is, if you divide 9 by 3, it should give you 3. But if you say 9, the same 9, and then you say you want this, and then you put 3 there, you are saying that we are looking for the remainder, not what is the divisible. So we do that, and then the answer will be 0. Check in the console, that's what I'm talking about. The answer will be 0, just like you see it here. So now you also have exponents. I could have something like 5. Okay, so I come to line 9, I could have something like 5, or let's say 6. And then when you say 6 exponent 2, we are saying that 6 raised to the power 2. So the answer should be 36. We are saying 6 times 6, and that's it. So it's the same thing as exponent. So sometimes too, if you also want, you could have 6 raised to the power, maybe any number at all, then you are good to go. If it is half, then it would have been 6 raised to the power 1 over 2, and that should be able to give you your answer. So these are the few mathematical operations that we can put on any of them. Now, let's check how we'll be able to. So what about if I have, if I want to combine more than one mathematical operation, will it work or not? So 45, and then I have plus